We're discussing female empowerment as we work in male-dominated industries and make less than men, and we live longer. So let's continue, Rita. You were talking about one of the banks before we went to break. So I wanted to talk to you. How does the financial services industry fail women?
Well, their wealth management arms traditionally have taken a one-size-fits-all approach to their clients. And that does a real disservice to women because women have important life stages that they have to plan for that could be different than men's. You know, you have your maternity leave as an example.
Right.
If you choose to become a mother to plan for, you live longer than men, generally speaking. And so you might be at risk of outliving your savings. And so there are a lot of different priorities that women have to think about, including planning for the fact that you might actually end up earning less than your male counterparts, even if you have the same level of education, same credentials.
Right.
And so the financial services industry hasn't traditionally taken those sorts of life stage and systemic barriers into account when it comes down to providing financial advice. And part of the problem is that there is a lack of representation of women among financial advisors. Women are underrepresented. So if you want to change in the mindset, you really have to change your employee base so that it reflects the population so that these issues come up. Of course, advisors are required to know their client.
Right.
But how well do they really know their clients?
You know, one of the other things that I've seen, I've been working on Bay Street for 25 years now. A lot of women don't want to be advisors. How do we entice them to say, this is what I want to do, and I want to focus on women and help women?
There has to be cultural change in the industry. It is not enough for these firms to say, of course we support diversity, of course we support women's equality in the workplace. Show us through your leadership, show us through gender balance on your executive teams, on your boards, show us in terms of the service that you provide your clients, and then people will believe that.
You know, those are really good points. I want to step back now because a lot of women, a lot of young women are graduating from universities, from colleges, but they don't really know, whether they should start saving, a lot of them think that they have to go to an app because that's what everybody else is doing. They don't realize that they can actually go see an investment advisor or a financial planner or somebody. So what advice would you give women about money management and life when they first graduate from school?
Start saving as soon as possible and automate it. Create a system where, automatically a portion of every paycheck goes towards savings. Make it really easy for yourself so you don't have to think about it.
Right.
You don't have to second guess yourself. The second thing is, don't go with the financial advisor that your father or your brother or your uncle or other family member, your cousin, went with just because, your family has a long-standing relationship with that person. Go with the person that feels right for you.
Right.
Do you feel like the person is talking down to you when they speak to you? Do you feel like the person feels that you ought to be deferring your financial decisions to, somebody else in your family? You don't want that. Does the person make you feel silly if you're asking basic questions? If you say, I don't understand what this investment is, I don't understand the risks. If that's the case, trust your gut. Trust your gut and go with the person you feel comfortable with.
I think that's really important because people think that, I've been with this person or my friends have been with this person. It's a relationship and it has to work both ways. You both have to want to speak to each other. You both are going to have to want to contact each other on a regular basis. So, if this one person doesn't work out for you, go and interview a few more. It's okay to interview investment advisors or financial planners for yourself.
Absolutely. And, ask all the questions that you need to have asked. Feel comfortable. And before you even start these conversations, understand your own risk tolerance. What are you comfortable with? I mean, these are questions that, we should be asking ourselves before we even embark on the process. And if you end up going with an app, great. But understand the risks that are associated with different apps. Particularly if it involves what is called screen scraping, where you provide your banking information. Ask the question, who is going to be liable if there is a data breach or some sort of cyber hack?